The biggest battle that you'll ever fight is not with this world. It's with yourself and with your mind. And I'm going to teach you how to win against your mind so you can keep growing and evolving as a person and not staying the same because of your comfort zone or your fears or just listening to your mind. Hi guys, welcome back to the ReaLysst podcast. I'm sorry. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to be back. If you're new here, my name's Alyssa Howard. I love to yap. And not only do I love to yap about self-improvement and ways to make our lives better. And I love that for me and you. So if you like that, stick around. I think you'll really like this episode. In this episode, I'm going to remind you of who you are and your power over your mind, because you are not your mind. And we're going to get into that because I know sometimes that sounds, but if you know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay, because you're going to know. We're going to be diving deeper into the inner conflict that happens with our minds, why it happens, where it stems from, how to fix it, or not fix it, but become aware of it and work with it rather than against it, be able to grow and evolve rather than stay in our comfort zone because of it. Yeah, if you've ever felt like you've just been your biggest obstacle and you are the only thing in your way, I am going to help you. I also need this episode just as much as you, maybe. So I have a couple major points that I want to hit. The first one being us understanding the you versus you mentality. I'm sure everyone has heard it. And I actually really like it. I like using that phrase a lot. So let's talk about what this battle really is. If we're getting technical, it's our ego, but our mind is wired to keep us safe. Our mind being wired to keep us safe is good for some things, but not for others, aka leaving our comfort zone or evolving in any way, because that is not deemed safe to our ego. Hence why there's always some sort of excuse or negative self-talk that comes up when we try to do something different or change something. This is why our brain always just reverts back to our comfort zone, because when we try to change something or do something different or show up differently or discipline ourselves and our mind isn't used to it, or even when it is used to it, it's still like there's definitely still some thoughts that try to come and get you to not do it. But just know that it is your mind literally just trying to keep you safe and in your comfort zone. However, I think we all know that we do not grow in our comfort zone, and if we're not growing, what are we here for? What are we doing? But acknowledging this is not a weakness. It's not a bad thing. It's actually really good, because once you're aware of it, you're self-aware, and self-awareness is the first step to changing. And even self-awareness sometimes can trigger the ego. Sometimes things trigger us and we shut down because it's too true. You know what I'm saying? It's too much for our ego or too much for our mind, and we're not comfortable. So therefore it's going to like shut us out or shut it out. So we're deemed safe again. Basically every single problem that we have is probably stemming from our ego, because again, it's just trying to keep us safe. Number 2, recognizing the lies of your comfort zone. This is a big one, because this is when we can't just listen to our minds. And this is what I mean by we are not our mind, because we are not our thoughts. So any thought that just comes in your brain and you just listen to it, that's typically how it goes, you know, like until we know otherwise. But I learned actually from my spiritual awakening that we're not our mind. And if you can observe something, then you aren't it. And the fact that I can observe my thoughts means I'm not my thoughts, which means they're not true unless I make them true, you know? Just because we have a thought doesn't make it true. And it can be really difficult in the moment, especially to not listen to a negative thought, especially when we're trying to be disciplined or change something. So for example, if you're trying to be a morning person and wake up at 6-7 in the morning and you don't want to do that or you're not used to doing that and you're uncomfortable doing it, when that 6 a.m. alarm hits, your mind is going to be like, no, stay back in bed. I'll just get up in an hour or like maybe 30 minutes. Like I'll just take a nap. You're going to immediately, I'm not going to say your brain is going to immediately try to keep you comfortable. It's going to keep you in bed. It's going to try to keep you comfortable and quote unquote safe in bed under the warm blanket. It doesn't want you to be uncomfortable. It doesn't want you to be threatened or whatever. Mind you, our brain it was wired this way, it doesn't really know that like waking up is for our greater good. It doesn't care. Your mind just has a very creative and sneaky way of keeping you stuck by making excuses. Oh, you're too tired, you're not good enough, you can't do that, or you'll start tomorrow, or maybe I'll just do it one more time if you're trying to stop something. Does that sound familiar? Because that's literally all of us. These excuses are not facts. They're just disguised as logic. They're disguised as like your thoughts. Oh yeah, that is true. Like I did think, maybe it is better if I do this, or maybe no. It's your brain. It's not you. So the more you learn to separate yourself from your brain, and I know how this sounds. It's like, huh, girl, I'm in my brain. Like I am my brain. Like, what do you mean? No, you're not. We are souls. You know what I'm saying? This is where the spiritual part comes in, because we're just in a human body, and part of that human body is the brain. So there are things about the brain that aren't necessarily us. And the more you learn that and get comfortable with that, the more you can observe the mind and not allow it to take over and take control of you and your life. This is why it's, in my opinion, difficult for a lot of people to be disciplined or change things about them. And it's almost easier to just listen to their mind and start next year, or I'm going to go to the gym on Monday. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, I'm not going to start on a Wednesday. I'm just going to go next Monday. Oh, Monday comes. Oh, damn. It's really easy to stay in that pattern. And a lot of people, like the majority of people, do that. And I don't want that for you. And I know you don't want that for you. So that's why I'm here. Something that helps this, which is something I should also be doing more often than I do, is meditating. Just sitting and observing your thoughts when they come in. The point of meditation, by the way, is not to just silence your mind. Like, yeah, that's part of it, but not really. The point is so you can start observing your thoughts and even feelings that come up and a whole bunch of other stuff, but specifically your thoughts. Don't try to just shut them down. Like, just observe them. Like clouds. Like, literally just watch them pass, because they will pass. There will be a random thought, and then it'll like go away. The only time thoughts really become a whole thing and a whole excuse and all this stuff is when we pay attention to them and give them power. So yeah, meditating, or even just saying out loud a positive affirmation, or like the opposite of whatever the negative excuse that your brain just came up with. Kind of retraining your mind to think more positively is going to help. It is going to take some time. It's going to take some practice. I've been working on this for 3, almost 4 years now. I've made significant progress, and I'm so proud of myself, because it was not easy and it did take repetition. So this is something that you're going to have to put work in doing, but I promise it is worth it. It is so worth it, and it will never go back to the way it was. That's why it's worth it, because it's just like you got to do it once. And I mean, healing, that's a whole nother thing, because I don't think we're ever done healing. But as far as reprogramming your mind into thinking better thoughts so your mind can work with you and for you rather than against you, that definitely takes time. But same thing with observing your thoughts and whatnot. Like in the beginning, especially when you're trying to start something new and trying to change your life around and tired of, excuses and not getting anything done, and like, oh, I've been the same person or doing the same thing for the past couple years. You want change. If you're ready for change and you're actually ready to be disciplined, start going to the gym, start posting consistently, doing whatever, you're gonna have to put work into reprogramming your mind. And that's kind of the whole point of this episode. But also, just to dive deeper into discipline and how it really is you versus you, because I will die on that hill. It is you versus you. It's not you versus the world. It's not you versus the economy. It's not you versus politics. It's not you versus your peers. It's not you versus anyone but your mind, because all of that is external stuff, and you give meaning and power to that. Like, for real, like that's like an actual fact. But I will dive more deeper into that when I do an episode about the subconscious mind, because it's so interesting and kind of frustrating because that is what needs reprogrammed, and it's not easy because it's subconscious. But anyways, I say all that to say your mind is really sneaky, and you need to kind of get a leg up on it so you're able to be aware of what's happening. You need to know, okay, my brain is just telling me this. Like, even get in the habit of saying that. My brain is trying to do this, or my brain is coming up with an excuse about this, or even like your emotions. Like, you're not your emotions either. It's just part of being a human being. Your emotions, your thoughts, really those two. They're not you. We are not attached to them unless we attach ourselves to them. The thoughts that are flowing into your mind are really just a lump sum summary of your childhood or like the programming that has been put on your mind. Hence why everyone has different beliefs and opinions and stuff. It's literally just because of how our brain has been programmed and what we've been told and taught and all that. All of that plays a part in how our brain talks to us and basically what thoughts come through. So when I say that you can reprogram that by telling your subconscious new things or telling yourself positive things instead of negative things. It's the same thing with confidence, money, like everything. It's literally everything. Like, this is actually really powerful and why I have grown so much and my life is so much better and I experience life better is just because of how I've changed my thought pattern. And yeah, okay, I'm realizing as I'm talking that I'm talking more about reprogramming my mind, so I really do want to get into that in another episode. I know I keep saying that, but there's just so much I could talk about this forever. So yeah, your thoughts are disguised as your logic, and sometimes it is your logic, but it's really your ego trying to keep you safe and your brain just giving you excuses so you don't make it uncomfortable, basically. But the key is, which I've kind of been saying without saying, that you need to hi. Bro, if you're watching the YouTube video, you just saw Dexter poke his head out from my pillows. If you're not, I'm so sorry you missed that. That was so cute. Anyways, the key is to learn how to observe your mind so you know when it's playing tricks on you, basically. This is something that you can do. This is something I do, and it really has helped and just made me pause for a second and really observe what's going on, especially when there's resistance, you know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to be disciplined and get up or go to the gym and my brain is like, no. I sit and I ask myself this: is this fear or is this fact? Fear or fact? Okay? Because it's also like, it could be fear, it could be trying to stay comfortable, it could be a couple different things. But typically, if you're struggling doing something or you want to do something but your brain is telling you otherwise, it's either fear or your ego trying to keep you safe and in your comfort zone. And either way, no. Babe, we gotta evolve, okay? It's uncomfortable literally for this reason, because of how our brain is wired. But that's why it comes with great results and why we're rewarded for doing hard things and being disciplined and being consistent, because not everyone does it and God sees that. I'm just saying. Now, I will say we're all capable of it. However, unfortunately, in school and like on the news and movies, this is not talked about. This was not talked about when we were growing up. So now this is something that's difficult and that not everyone can or wants to work on, you know, because it's not easy. It's really not easy, but it is so worth it. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. Number 3, how to break past your mental limits. This is something I'm still learning. So I am practicing what I preach, heavy on practicing. Okay. You don't have to feel ready to take action. Just take it. Just do it before your brain even starts, because that is how a lot of us get stuck and not end up doing anything. Same thing. This is the biggest thing, because a lot of you guys ask me, oh, like, what do you have? What tips do you have for, you know, starting a YouTube channel or like becoming a creator? And honestly, I'm about to start saying just start, because, well, I already do say that, but if you're already in your head, your brain is going to keep you there. Like, you are going to stay in your head, because that's the brain's job. That's the ego's job, is to keep you comfortable and safe. So if you're not comfortable starting this new YouTube channel, you never will be. Just start. You just have to start. And that's for, you know, one specific example, but that goes for everything. If you're trying to do something that you've never done before, something that is a little out of your comfort zone, or something that you know is going to take discipline and consistency and hard work of some sort, your brain is going to try to trick you out of your spot and tell you, no, this is not something we should do. Like, no. And again, don't resent it for it. Be like, it's almost weird talking about it like this, because it's been so long for me. This is like normal talk, but I feel like I kind of sound cuckoo, but I hope you know what I'm saying. If you don't, this is probably not the podcast channel for you. I have compassion for my brain. I don't know if that sounds crazy or if I'm just a freaking Cancer and just an empath for literally everything, but I understand. Basically, I understand that what my brain is trying to do. I'm grateful that it functions properly and it's trying to keep me safe. But no, brain, no. It really helps if you talk to it. If you be like, no, this is not what we're doing. Like, no. And I'm saying talk to it, but it's really talking to yourself. Like, if you are looking in the mirror and you're like, no, Alyssa, get up. No, Savannah. No, Tiffany. No, Jasmine. No, Kaylee. Talk to yourself and be like, no, I see what you're doing. I know that you want to be safe, but no. I'm telling you it helps. Or maybe it just helps for me. I talk to myself all the time, and I swear it makes me smarter. Isn't that like a fact somewhere that like people that talk to themselves are smarter? I don't know. But basically, anytime my brain is trying to be negative and trying to keep me in my comfort zone, I will politely and respectfully cuss it out. I'll be like, girl, bye. We're doing it. Okay. Waiting for motivation is a trap. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect time. It's literally never going to be a perfect time because your brain is always going to have an excuse. Always. Another thing, I did this and it really helped, is starting small. So saying, wow, just start with small promises to yourself and keep them, because that will start to grow your confidence. Because when I say you versus you, I really mean you versus your brain. Okay. And that's why I keep talking about your brain and not you, because it's you versus you. You versus your brain. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways. Start with small promises to yourself so your brain is starting to learn, okay, wait, we're doing what we're saying we're going to do. That's another part of like your subconscious mind. If you are someone who says you're going to do something and don't, because your brain is like, oh, no. Well, your subconscious mind is listening and it's like, well, okay, so every time you say you're going to do something, you don't actually do it. So I'm not going to trust that you're actually going to do it. And that makes it even easier for your ego or whatever, that part of your brain that is like trying to keep you safe, to keep you there, because you subconsciously don't trust yourself because you've said, I'm going to do this and didn't. You see what I'm saying? So start small and start telling yourself, okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to drink water as soon as I wake up. I'm going to go on a 5-minute walk every day after dinner, and actually do it. Even though that's so duh, just say it out loud and then do it. I swear it's going to help. It's going to build your confidence, and it's going to start teaching your brain like, okay, hold on. Or specifically your subconscious mind. Okay, she's doing what she's saying she's doing, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to help you just be disciplined and trust yourself more to make those choices, even when your brain is telling you not to make said choices. Part 4, the power of showing up anyway. You will not always want to show up for yourself. It's just, it is what it is. But that honestly is when it matters the most, because again, your subconscious mind is always listening, and I will get more into that and really teach you about the subconscious mind. But anyways, the subconscious mind is always listening. So when you don't want to do something, that's really when you need to do it the most, because that is you versus you, and you're winning. Like, that is really when it matters the most, because it's almost like your brain, okay, stay with me, okay, this is probably, just stay with me. Your brain is kind of like a team of different parts of your brain. Like, there's obviously different parts of your brain. So there's like a part, you know, your ego, that is trying to keep you safe and creating thoughts that are not even true. They're just trying to keep you safe. And then we have the subconscious mind that is listening to literally every single thing you're doing and saying, and really how you operate on a day-to-day basis, and some other ones that don't matter right now in this current moment. So the ego's job on that team is to keep you safe and get you to not do something. Well, when you say you're going to do something, aka your conscious mind, oh yeah, conscious mind, that's another part of the team. So the conscious mind says, I'm going to do this. Low-key, the conscious mind is not on the same team. Anyways, the conscious mind says, I'm going to do this. The ego goes, yeah, I don't think you should. And the subconscious mind is like, yeah, no, you're not. I don't trust that you're actually going to do that. And it's just like, damn, okay. The conscious mind is like, well, damn, all right, fuck it, I won't. And the subconscious mind is like, see, I told you won't. And the ego is like, okay, good, we're safe. Think about that. Like, your brain is just doing its job. So that's why the more you observe that and know that that's what's happening, the easier it'll be to just get up and do it anyway. That's really it. Like, observing it, knowing what's happening. Okay, my brain does not want me to get up right now. My brain is uncomfortable.
Fuck you, brain.
No, I'm playing. Well, If you gotta do that, do that. Sometimes I say that to my brain, sometimes, because it's just like, shut up, like, I got it, thank you, but I love you because it's me. You know what I'm saying? But no. The reason why it matters the most is because that's when growth is happening, is when you're uncomfortable and you're still choosing to do something. That is when the growth happens. And yay, like, yes, we want more of that. Okay, last part 5, building a future focused mindset. Y'all, it's 3 a.m. I'm getting a little delirious and a little weird. Stop living for short-term comfort and start living for long-term fulfillment. That's a quote. Okay, I did not come up with that off the dome. You know, that's definitely, I just read that off of my outline, but it's true. I'm going to read it again. Stop living for short-term comfort and start living for long-term fulfillment. Your future self deserves better than excuses. Damn, I didn't even remember that second sentence, but period. Your future self deserves better than excuses. I'm not going to lie. Give your future self a name, a nickname. Mine personally, if you know, you know, is List 5.0. Okay. When I struggle getting up in the morning or going to the gym, I literally say List 5.0 is laughing at you right now. Because List 5.0 does that with ease. Ooh, I'm up every time. It works every time. And I feel like it wouldn't if I didn't have a whole ass name and character and avatar. Like, I can picture her. I know what she looks like, what she's wearing, what she does, how she, bro, I know her like a whole nother human. Okay. And every day I'm striving to become closer and closer like her. I look up to her. Okay. I look up to her. So when I hear and I tell myself List 5.0 is laughing at you, she's looking at you like, girl, for real? You can't even get up. You can't even be disciplined enough to get up. What am I going to do? I'm going to get up. Okay. I promise. I'm not telling you this for no reason, okay? Another thing as far as future-focused mindset, I'm telling you, please give your future self a nickname. And don't even just give her or him a nickname. You need to literally create a whole Pinterest board. I'm talking about hobbies, outfits, hair, everything. My freaking List 5.0 board probably has like 300 pins. Like, just everything. The more you familiarize yourself with your future self, the easier it is for this step, which is kind of using your future self against you in a way to get you up. Okay, just like I said, List 5.0 is laughing at you. It works. I swear it does. Another thing you can do is visualize your success daily. Manifest. Like, get excited about your future and remind yourself of that, especially when your brain is trying to keep you playing small and in your comfort zone. That's when you need to remind yourself of that the most. That's when you need to remind yourself of your future and where you're trying to go and your manifestations and your prayers the most, because it's motivation. I need some water. Hold on. Whew. I talk a lot, but I love that. That's like what I was born to do. I did write here on my outline a little practical tip. I don't do this, but I actually would love to do this, which is why I wrote it. Keep a journal where you write one way you stepped out of your comfort zone every day, because it builds momentum. I saw a TikTok on this and I was like, wait, that's genius. Like, that would motivate me to get out of my comfort zone just so I can write it down and be like, this is how I did it today. And this is how I did it today. You know, I don't know if that will work for everyone, but for me, I think that will work. So I'm going to try to do that. And I'll keep you guys updated if I actually do it. I'm just being real, okay? The whole goal here is to win the battle of you versus you. It's not external. It is internal, okay? The call is coming from inside the house. But that's okay. That's actually probably good, because that means you can control it. Oh my God. Please. Y'all, my lip gloss is getting white. Hold on. In conclusion, your main goal in life is to win the battle of you versus you. It'll get easier. So maybe not your main goal in life, but definitely at the moment is to just keep tallying up your points of winning you versus you. There will be days where your brain or the other you wins, and that's okay. You know, that's still consistency. As long as you're consistent and you're still trying and showing up and using every new opportunity as an opportunity to grow and be defiant kind of against your brain, you're doing the right thing, and that is okay. I don't want you to think that this is going to be linear and perfect. It's not. Okay? There are times where I still sleep in and I still snooze my alarm and I get mad at myself later, but there are times where I still do it. Like I do. My brain wins sometimes, but as long as you're winning, you know, like the war and not the battle, you're good. Okay. Now don't use that as an excuse. I'm not talking to you, brain. I'm talking to you, whatever your name is. Insert name here. I don't want your brain using that against you later. But remember, this journey again is not linear. You got this, okay? Do not let fear get to you. Do not let your brain win just by doing its job. Think about it's just doing its job. You do your job. Assign yourself a job and be defiant against it, okay? Until you can reprogram it to think better thoughts and more positive thoughts, which will therefore make it easier for you to get up and do things because it's not going to be as negative. You'll be good. But in the beginning, it is going to be hard because, you know what I'm saying? It's going to try to keep you in bed or in the house or not getting in, going into the gym, you know? And that's okay. I get it. It's me literally having compassion for a brain. I don't care. I love that about me. Real empath shit. Anyway, I wrote this down. The next time your mind whispers that you can't, remind yourself that you can and you will. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, for real though, for real. It's true. Just remind yourself and tell yourself, no, I can and I will. Watch this. See, me personally, I'm spiteful. I'm a little spiteful. That's the Aries moon in me for sure. But I'm spiteful. So if somebody says I can't do something, aka Vlogmas, like, girl, that's literally how I got through Vlogmas. It's because somebody said, yeah, let's see how many days she gets. A word? Bet. Watch this. Like, I'm spiteful. Like, I will, not in a bad way, but I'll use spite as motivation. So for me, that sentence was like, yes, like, next time your brain whispers you can't, say I can and I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, use spite if you need to. Leo said that. I did too, though. I co-sign on that. Thank you for listening or watching or both. I will see you guys next week. Next Saturday, I upload every Saturday. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at AlyssaA.Howard. Also, the ReaLysst podcast has an Instagram. It's just the ReaLysst podcast. You can follow her on there too. I have started posting on there. I am more consistent on there and will continue to. I'm not playing with y'all this year. Okay, I'm not playing with myself. It's me versus me. Hello? You know how it's usually like your ego trying to keep you comfortable? Well, for me, it was fear for whatever reason of being seen, even though I'm literally seen by thousands of people every day. I don't know either. Okay, it's my brain. It's my subconscious mind, and we're working on that. Hence why I am doing it anyway, even if I'm scared or whatever. Like, we're just all year we're getting out of our comfort zone, okay? And we're growing and we're evolving and we're going to receive blessings and rewards for it. Not that that's the reason we're doing it, but, you know, motivation. Hey, wow, that really went off rail again. ADHD. Okay, follow me on Instagram. Also, I just started posting on Snapchat again, like publicly. You guys are getting a whole bunch of behind the scenes, a whole bunch of random snaps, funny moments throughout my day, random rants behind, like, literally everything that I probably wouldn't post on any other platform. So definitely add me on Snap. It's Snaps of Sissa, so Snaps of SYSSA. You will not regret it, especially if you're an OG and like you really fuck with me. You will love it over there. Okay. Anyways, okay, I love you. I'll call you back next week. Bye.